Good evening, I'm Dana Foster and you're watching Live at 5. The temperature is just sitting at -10. It's just after 5 p.m. and tonight I'll bring you weather and roads and your local news, and then later on in the show we'll speaking to a woman who's working hard to decolonize health and wellness. She'll be sharing her story on Indigenous doula and how she got into her line of work. But first, into the news. The Thompson-Nicola Regional District, in partnership with the Gold Country Communities Society, announced a resiliency center will be open weekly during the month of February in 2 locations to support flood-affected residents along the Highway 8 corridor. Resiliency Center services will be available on February 2nd, 9th, 16th, and 23rd in Spence's Bridge from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. and in Cache Creek from 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. The locations of the 2 resiliency centers are at Spence's Bridge School at 4800 School Street in Spence's Bridge, and at the Gold Country office on 1095 Todd Road in Cache Creek. Gold Country staff will be available to provide assistance to residents displaced from their homes. Mental health support staff will also be on site. We'll be speaking with the Gold Country staff for further information for that newscast on Friday. The Gold Trail School District is pleased to announce that Colleen DeVeyrac has accepted the position of the principal of the Cache Creek Elementary School. This is effective February 14th, 2022. Colleen has over 30 years of experience as an educator, leader, consultant, and principal. She is currently the principal of the school in Squamish, BC. She has intensive experience in leadership, inclusive education, and working with and for Indigenous students, families, and communities. We have reached out to the school district and we hope to hear back from them for more information on that exciting news. The Health and Wellness Coalition is conducting a survey. The attempt is to have local residents' voices be heard regarding issues in healthcare. The online survey can be found on the Healthcare and Wellness Coalition Facebook page. All information that is collected will be kept confidential and will only be used to collect statistical data. The deadline for the online survey is February 18th at 9 a.m. The second First Responders charity hockey match took place at the Drylands Arena in Ashcroft on the 22nd of January in support of Linton Fire Department, and they raised $10,000 to help rebuild local services in the community. Local firefighters played against the law enforcement officers to raise the funds to help the Linton Volunteer Fire Department enforcement. The law enforcement officers won 9-7. The Ashcroft Firefighter Association is also accepting donations on behalf of the Linton Fire Service. Anyone who wants to donate can send an e-transfer to the Ashcroft Firefighter Association at gmail.com. The Ashcroft Hospital is holding vaccine clinics for anyone aged 12 and older who need either their first or second dose. They can drop into any clinic, no registration or appointment is necessary. However, appointments are required for anyone eligible for their booster shot and for children aged 5 to 10. The clinic at the Ashcroft Hospital and Health site is open February 2nd, 9th, 16th, and 23rd. For appointments for children aged 5 to 11, anyone eligible for their booster shot from 9 a.m. to 3:30, with it being closed at noon. And that is your local news for the Gold Country region. All right, let's check out the weather. Weather for Linton tonight, periods of light snow ending late this evening, then mainly cloudy. A 40% chance of flurries with winds gusting up to 15 kilometers per hour. Temperature will be steady near -2 with a wind chill of -6. Over in Ash Creek, weather for tonight, periods of snow ending near midnight, then cloudy with a 30% chance of flurries, a 2 centimeter to 4 centimeter snowfall, except over eastern sections with a 5 centimeter snowfall. That wind is going to be gusting up to 15 kilometers, and that temperature will be steady near 5 with a wind chill of -12. In Lillooet, periods of light snow ending near midnight, then mainly cloudy with a 30% chance of flurries, with that wind picking up to 15 kilometers per hour. However, your temperature will be steady near -2 and a wind chill of -7. Over in Clinton, weather for tonight, periods of snow ending overnight, then cloudy with a 60% chance of flurries, and then you've got a 2 to 5 centimeter snowfall over northeastern sections, and that wind will be gusting up to 20 kilometers per hour, and then dying down later on in the evening, and your temperature is steady near -9 with a wind chill of -15 this evening. Over into the roads, let's check out what is happening on Highway 1 in both directions. There's road construction work between Gladwin Road and Nikomin River Road. That's 5 kilometers east of Linton. There is single lane alternating traffic. Make sure that you are watching out for traffic control, and then you can expect delays. On Highway 1 in both directions, there is road construction between Gladwin Road and Nikomin River Road. 13 kilometers east of Linton, there is single lane alternating traffic, and watch out for traffic control. You can also expect delays. That road is only open to legal highway width and weight loading. Loads that are over 25 meters long are asked to use alternative routes. Over into our Highway 1 road report in both directions. There is construction work between Highway 8 and Cornwall Road, that's south of Cache Creek, to Spence's Bridge. That's happening until November. There is single lane alternating traffic, so you're going to make sure that you are slowing down around those areas, and then you can also expect that there is going to be a 5-minute delay. Also be watching out for signage and personnel. Over onto Highway 8 in both directions, there's a washout between Merritt and Spence's Bridge Road. That road is closed. Road reconstruction is in process for multiple sites, and the estimated time of opening is not currently available. On Highway 97, watch out for slippery sections between Monty Creek Road and Olson Road. That's Cache Creek to the south of Hickston. There is compact snow happening out there. On Highway 97 in both directions, there's bridge maintenance between Park Road and Orchard Road in Cache Creek. That's Bonaparte Bridge number 2 in front of the Bear Claw Lodge. That the travel width of that bridge has been narrowed by 2 feet, and that is until further notice. And also the speed will be reduced until to 30 kilometers per hour. So make sure that you are watching out for road crews and any construction workers on the side of the road. On Highway 97 in both directions, there is a wildlife advisory in effect between Highland Valley Copper Mine and Frontridge Road in close to Ashcroft. You make sure that you're watching out for wild horses. And then on Highway 97, watch out for slippery sections between Stenton Lake Road and Hat Creek Road. That's over in Lillooet. On Highway 99 in both directions, there is a wildlife advisory in effect between Hat Creek Road and the end of Highway 99. And that's 70 kilometers north of Lillooet. Make sure that you're watching out for wild horses. And the Big Bar Reaction Ferry has their seasonal shutdown at Big Bar Reaction Ferry. That road is closed for the season. Aerial car available for foot traffic only. I'm Dana Foster, and you're watching Sunvalley News. If you have an accident to report, or you would like to send in your own video or road report, you can call me at 236-597-6397. That's 236-597 news, or email me info@sunvalleynews.ca. All right, we are now going to speak with a woman who is from Big Bar. She is working on decolonizing health and wellness, and she explains everything about Indigenous doula. Let's take a look. And we are now joined with Shonina. Thank you so much for joining us today to talk about such an interesting topic about decolonizing health and wellness, and then also Indigenous doula. Thanks for taking the time.
Amazing. Thank you so much.
So,
First, I'll
go ahead.
first I'll just introduce myself. Maskiki Esquiteo Esqueo Nitsigausen, Shanina Loss, Omania, Nihawen, Saddle Lake, Cree Nation, Ochinia, Kamloops, BC, Eke, Nitawayan, Makamikwach, Boston Bar, Nibikin. So my spirit name is Maskiki Esquiteo Esqueo, Medicine Fire Woman, and my colonial name is Shonina Loss. I currently reside in Boston Bar, BC, in the Nahatlatch Valley, and I'm a guest here on the Nklapmut territory, so I'm honored to be here with you today.
Thank you so much. So, what does decolonizing health and wellness look like for you?
Well, it was a journey to get there. And what I found I'm a certified holistic practitioner, and that's sort of how I started on the journey in holistic health. I'm also Cree, and I embarked upon my ceremonies, particularly the Sweat Lodge and also Sundance. So I partake in those ceremonies regularly. Um, then, as I was practicing as a holistic practitioner within Indigenous communities, I had so many clients coming to me, and I just felt like there was like this feelings of lack of, like, our communities were lacking, the people felt like they were lacking. And so I wanted to change that narrative into, we have all the answers. Creator provides us with everything that we need. And especially with women, birthing, to empower women to know that we are birth givers, and to dig into those roots to know that we don't come from a place of lack. We come from a place of abundance in all ways.
So, what does Indigenous doula mean? How does that differ from regular doula practices?
I think for myself, embarking as an Indigenous doula, when we took our training, we had elders present. So we were taking, a trauma informed way of looking at doulas, because working within the nations, there is a lot of trauma that we have to look at, and that way we're able to lift the mamas up even more, knowing the history and possible traumas that may encounter. Plus, we had elders who worked with us, so we incorporated a little bit of ceremony into that. And then, so on top of the ceremony that I already bring forth, there's that whole piece where a lot of people want to connect back to their ceremonies, to their culture, because that, even like me just learning, when I introduce myself in Cree, I'm just learning my Cree language, and it's so empowering to go to the roots of all nations, all cultures had ceremony, have rituals, not just our Indigenous, North American Native culture, every religion. So I think it's a more empowering have these rites of passages and these ceremonies in the practice.
Well, tell me a little bit about your background. How did you decide to get into doula?
Well, it was quite a journey. I found myself quite lost in my teen years and then into early adulthood. And then coming back, quitting drinking and all those things, getting myself on the red road through ceremony. And then through that, healing myself, and then became a holistic practitioner. And then when I became pregnant with my first child in 2008, Cedar Ray, and I was in the city and I had midwives, which was super amazing. However, I also felt this need of like, I felt like I could do this on my own. And so it was like that was the practice, and it was a home birth, and it was so amazing and beautiful. And then when I got pregnant with my second child, River, he was born in 2014 here in my home, off grid, up in the mountains. And there were so many parts of my first birth that I wanted to make better in my second birth. And so part of that was the transition phase, was really focusing on still remaining in my body and, while looking out my window into the garden while I was in the birth pool. And then after that, I realized, oh, I want to share this. I want to share these stories of how amazing and empowering and how beautiful birth can be, instead of hearing, these stories of a lot of hospital births, and women sharing the narrative of how hard it was and how painful it was, and coming from that place of lack of, and it doesn't have to be that way.
When it comes to your services, is Indigenous doula for everyone, or is it specifically for Indigenous women?
It's for everyone. I've had my last two births have been non-Indigenous families, and they hired me based on the fact of the rootedness and groundedness in my culture. And I even brought parts of that into that birth process, but then also asked my clients at the same time to look at their culture, where they come from, what ceremonies did they have, and what do they want incorporated, and I can help to incorporate that into the birthing practice as well. And with the Indigenous, as an Indigenous doula, one of the greatest things that's happened, and I think it probably came into being right after I took my Indigenous doula training, was the grants for families, Indigenous families. So there's a grant program out there. So any Indigenous family is eligible for a doula covered by the grant program.
Oh, that's awesome. Do you worry about your practices being taken by non-Indigenous or settlers and used in their own practices? Do you ever worry about that?
Not necessarily. I think, I was taught by my elders who are knowledge keepers and who didn't openly share our protocols of ceremony and of our way of living. However, my elder, Nikustan James, her and I recently just shared openly and recorded our teachings on the NEP, on the Sweat Lodge. And I feel it's a time and my elder feels it's a time in the life where we share this knowledge, because like I said, it's not just about us being North American Native. It's every human has culture, has roots. And so to me, reconciliation is going back to your roots, whomever you may be. I'm not just Cree. I have Norwegian and Scottish as well. And I know from one of my Cree brothers at Sundance who went back to Scotland, because he's also of Scottish descent, and he partook in some of their ceremonies, and he said, you will be amazed at how close they are to ours.
Really?
So that's how I encourage. Yeah, it's pretty amazing. Yeah.
That is awesome. What would you want to share then with other people that might not fully understand what Indigenous doula is? What would you want to share with them so that they could better understand what you do and how it differs?
I actually don't really know. Oh, I suppose in Kamloops, I do have a few friends who are doulas and come from a very deep-rooted, compassionate, empowering stance. And however, I don't feel that they incorporate a lot of ritual. And it's not necessarily about the ritual either. However, a lot of our rites of passage, when a baby's born into the world, what we do with the placenta, and how that's taken care of, and then the belly button, how that's taken care of, and all these form rites of passage through the child's life. And say, for instance, with the belly button, once the belly button falls off, we keep that, and sometimes we can bury it or hang it in a tree. And it's said that child will never be lost because we've taken care of that belly button. Some of the elders, when some of the little ones used to run around and they were getting into mischief, the elders would say, "Oh, he's looking for his belly button." And they would say that perhaps that ceremony wasn't performed for that baby. So he's running around looking for his belly button. So it's a way of keeping rooted and grounded. And that child will always have that place to go back, as well as, how we take care of the placenta. So it's those little things that can be incorporated into the indigenous ways of the doula.
Awesome. And as we wrap things up, what do you hope for the future with health and wellness, and how do you hope to make a difference?
Well, I'm on a bit of a mission, and not only with birth. I'm also an Indigenous death doula. I'm also a nutritionist. I'm also a knowledge keeper. So I'm in the school sharing knowledge, traditional practices. And what I would like to see in the way of health and wellness is us taking back our power. And so that we know we're not coming from a place of lack. When we're in pain or when we're sick, that we know that we have it within us, and Creator provides everything we need to gain our health back, that we don't need to look outside ourselves and what Creator provides. And so that would come in a way of healing centers that incorporate the full medicine wheel within birth and death, and all of our traditional practices involved in that, including, nutrition, mental, spiritual, physical, and emotional health. So that's my mission, and bringing birth back to the communities is especially important to me. We live in Boston Bar, and all the moms that birth either have to go to Kamloops, which is a 2.5-hour drive. Most of them go to Chilliwack. They don't do births in Hope. So it's a 2-hour drive. I've been behind moms driving who are literally felt like they were holding their baby in until they got to Chilliwack. So that takes away from the whole process and ceremony of giving birth. So bringing birth back to Indigenous communities and doing it the way that we had been doing it for a time and immemorial.
Awesome. Now, if somebody is interested in learning more about your services and how you can assist with their birthing plan, where can they go and check you out?
Yeah, so I have a website. It's under construction, but you can contact me through there. It's shaninaloss.com. And it's got a little bit of an about me, and there's links in there in order to contact me, as well as what I offer as a doula, pricing, and that's always negotiable as well. I'm always open to Indian trades and what have you, and anything else. So you can contact me through my website there, or Facebook as well.
All right. Okay. Well, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you so much.
All right. Well, that is it for us today. You've been watching Live at 5. I'm your host, Dana Foster. Now, if you've ever thought about being a journalist, here's your opportunity. We now have a job opening for a community and civic news journalist. All you have to do is go to our website on our careers page and send in your resume and a 5-minute video, 2 to 5 minute video on why you would be a good fit for this position. You can check out all the qualifications and requirements that are needed for the position on that website, and then you can just email me at dana at fostermediagroup.ca. That's it for us today. If you'd like some more information on how you can become a sponsor on our news channel, you can email us at info@sunvalleynews.ca, and we have many opportunities for you to advertise on our channel. Also, if you're interested in volunteering or you'd like to start your own program or your own show, all you have to do is email me info@sunvalleynews.ca, and we'll set you up on how to produce your own and host your own show. Have a wonderful night, and we'll chat with you again Friday evening. Good night for now.